Hello, my name is Jonas. In this video, I'll show you great footage from the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K to make it look great. I'll also give away my own DUST35 Pocket4K LUT, so you can try out my grade for yourself. But before we begin, remember to like and subscribe, that's highly appreciated. So, in my latest video called The Biggest Problem in Pocket 4K that no one talks about, I explained that the biggest problem I have with this camera is in regards to the colors it produces. If you haven't seen that video, I strongly suggest you check it out before watching this tutorial, since this is kind of a follow-up to that video. So let's begin. I will use two clips to demonstrate my process. This outdoor shot with some blue sky and green trees in it, and this talking head shot of me, both recorded in natural light. The two shots were chosen because they contain elements of the three probably most important memory colors: a blue sky, green foliage and skin tones, which I talked about in the previous video. To start, I'm using a regular non-color managed workflow. So here we have the original talking head shot, which has been normalized and white balanced. As you can see, the original image has a warm, kind of magenta brownish color cast to it, and it doesn't look very good. When I have the option, I use a gray card as a reference when adjusting the white balance, which I also done in this case. Most of the time I use the color picker with the option Show Picker RGB value enabled. This helps me to verify that all three RGB channels are equally strong in the image. Since this clip was shot in RAW, I adjust the white balance in the RAW tab. Now, if we disregard the gray card and instead try to white balance the image by eye, it is possible to achieve a more natural look by lowering the color temperature and cooling the overall image down. If you apply these values to the clip with the gray card, it will show a way too cool balance. And I find this behavior of Pocket 4K quite strange. As we continue with this grade, I will instead use the temperature and tint values used to match the gray card earlier. In the RAW tab, I also make sure that the clip is set to the Blackmagic Design color space and Blackmagic Design film gamma. Here you can also see that this clip was shot at ISO 800. Right now I'm using 4 nodes. The first node sets the exposure by lowering the gain. The second is a color space transform, which converts Blackmagic Design Pocket 4K film into Rec 709. The third node sets the black point by lowering the lift. And the fourth node adds some saturation to the image by using the RGB mixer and keying the output to get the amount of saturation that I want. Now, to get a starting point, I'm using a LUT for emotive color, which is meant to emulate the look of an Era Alexa. When you buy this LUT, you get a few different versions. I'm not going into detail on each one, but I prefer to use the log C version, which converts the image into the Alexa color space and log C gamma. After the LUT, I have a color space transform to convert the log C signal into Rec 709. If you toggle back and forth between the original image, you can see quite a big difference. The LUT gets rid of the brownish color cast and makes the image more viewable. Although in this case I'm not really happy with the image yet, so let's continue. The two fundamental nodes in my own grade are these two. The first one desaturates the already low saturated elements in the image and de-emphasize the overall color cast, which is present for example in my hat and in the background. It achieves this by using a saturation roll-off curve created in the Sat vs Sat section, as you can see here. The second node is called Cooler and is in the YUV color space, which you can set by right-clicking the node, selecting color space and YUV at the bottom. Here I played around with RGB mixer to get the image even more where I want it. I really like where this is going, and to me, especially the background feels much cleaner and more natural. The image now leans more towards the cooler side, which I like. As you can see, this node is created as a layer node, which is set to color. This means that it doesn't affect the luminance of the image, only the colors. If you take a look at the vector scope, you can see the shift this adjustment makes. And it has a slight effect on skin tones as well. As an option to the emotive color LUT, I also have a correction which removes some of the reds by lowering the red lift adjustment. You won't get the same results as with the LUT, but it's still much better starting point than you get out of the box. If you toggle back and forth, you can see the difference between using the LUT combined with my grade versus the red lift adjustment. Lastly, I've added some sharpness and the film convert plugin. This plugin acts as a film emulation that, in my opinion, gives the image a more organic feeling. I use the Kodak P400 emulation, which is currently my favorite. I have the grain set to 35mm 3perf at 50%, along with film color set to 50% and the film curve at 100%. If you toggle the film convert node and the cooler node on and off, you can see that these two works really good together, and I'm quite happy with the result. If you take a quick look at the original outdoor shot, I tried to get it looking as neutral as possible by adjusting the white balance and tint on the RAW tab. If you compare it to the version which has the multicolor LUT applied to it, you can see quite a big difference when toggling back and forth. On this shot, my grade didn't add anything to the multicolor LUT, and I was able to dial in the look I wanted only using the white balance and tint adjustments. We can compare this version to my own grade, and you can see a difference here as well. My grade clearly looks better than the original, but it doesn't achieve the same results as the version with a multicolor LUT applied to it. I also found that on some shots, my grade doesn't really make a difference, and you can basically get the same results by dialing the white balance and tint adjustments. Although on other shots, like in this example, this can't be done, and this is where my grade helps with achieving a better starting point. So I created a LUT from this grade called the DUST35 Pocket4K LUT, which I'm giving away for free, so you can try it out for yourself if you're interested. This LUT contains the 3 red lift, deset and cool nodes from my grade. Here I replaced these adjustments with the DUST35 Pocket4K LUT, and as you can see, the image looks the same. If you wish to get hold of this LUT, please follow the instructions in the description below. Also, please let me know how you like this grade, and my approach to grading Pocket 4K footage. If you have any thoughts or questions, please leave a comment below. Also, remember to like and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching, until next time, goodbye.